Welcome to your final week of moving in the store classes. So I'm going to go straight into the next block of classes. With your class recording, I'm going to send you the link to order into or kind of book into the next block of 5 classes. I'm also going to give you a free link to a restorative workshop that I'm doing on the 2nd of June. So anyone who books in to the next block of movement restore classes will get a link to an hour-and-a-half restorative class from 7 to half 8 on, is it Wednesday? It's the 2nd of June, Wednesday, 2nd of June. Okay, so we're going to get straight into it. What we're going to do today is we're moving into a little bit of twists. We're really working with I'm going to get a little bit nerdy with my anatomy now. So we'll be working into the core, but not really into the traditional sense of the core, as in, kind of lying your back and doing kind of more Pilates leg work. It's more the idea of awareness of the core and what's happening when we twist and what's happening when we kind of bend forward. So we've done quite a lot of these kind of movements, which are very strengthening for the core. So it's core in action is kind of what you could kind of consider it to be, which essentially core in action is what our day-to-day life is. We're not doing crunches. We're trying to build awareness of the strength of our core to support our back. We always have to remember what the function of these muscles are. I know we like to have them as kind of an accessory, but they all have their function. So just now, I won't get too deeply into it, but just to give you a sense of where you're looking for the twists. Even though you'll even probably hear me say twist from the waist, the twist actually mainly comes from the thoracic spine, so the upper spine. We think that we're twisting from here, but actually a lot of the twist is coming from up higher. So when we come into our standing twists, I'm going to make you kind of bring your hands to this area. We're keeping our hips stable, just to kind of demonstrate or give you a feeling for where your twist is coming from. We also are moving through, if you think about these obliques, we're going to work on our kind of side obliques, which are our twistings and our bendings. And when we twist, say you're twisting to the right, so let's go to the left. These ones are drawing together and strengthening. These ones are drawing apart and stretching. So that's why twists are really good for your core in terms of like they're strengthening and they're stretching these side muscles here alternatively. And then when you twist to the other side, the muscles that we're stretching are now strengthening. Now, I won't go any deeper than that on it. Transverse abdominis is this lovely kind of sheath that goes all around us that contains the organs of the body. It's a real containment sheath, and that's what's coming into action when we're leaning forward. We're kind of using the sheath that goes all around our spine here to protect the spine as we lean forward to contain the organs of the body. Okay, anatomy lesson over. Let's get straight into it. You don't need your bricks or anything. Just coming on to all fours at the top of your mat there. We'll just do a few rounds of cat-cow. Always such a great movement just to get the spine moving and warming up the belly. So remembering your inhale is where the belly drops down towards the ground. Keep breathing there as I talk you through a few more alignment cues, drawing the shoulders back towards the hips there, broadening through the collarbones. Watch the neck, make sure that you're almost like a little chin tuck as you're gazing forward. And then exhale, drawing your spine up towards the ceiling, cinching the waist in like you're almost draping over a bar at the waist there. Doing a few more rounds. Inhale, belly drops down towards the ground. The gaze comes forward, a little chin tuck, lengthen. Feel a little bit of lengthness through the back of the neck there, even though we're extending it. And then exhale, lift the spine up towards the ceiling. One more round. Inhale, belly softens towards the ground. Start to feel in for this area that we're working with today. Feeling forward, the muscles around the whole 360 waist here as you move through your cat-cows. Okay, now just coming back to neutral position. Walk your hands forward and just try to keep your hips. I know it's kind of hard because your gaze is in that direction, but try to keep your hips over your knees as you walk your hands forward. If your head doesn't completely come down to the ground, pop a brick underneath your forehead there. Let your heart center just melt down towards the ground there. Feel a lovely stretch underneath the armpits here.
Maybe even just crawl the hands forward just a little bit, but just remembering the shoulder is quite an unstable joint. We don't want to push too far into it. So it's just a gentle softening or a melting of the muscles around the shoulder joint as they drop down towards the ground. And of course, coming back to the area that we're working on today, we're kind of stretching the skin across the belly here, coming into a little back bend. Press into your hands just about enough to be able to come up and walk your hands off the left side of your mat now, and then drop down towards the ground. It can be nice here because we're kind of working into a side bend here. Bend the left elbow there and place your hand on the ground, and you can place your forehead on your hand there of your left hand. So right arm stretching to the left, left arm bent, hand on, or forehead on left hand. So see, can you reach that right hip away from you here as you reach your fingertips over to the left side of your mat, off your mat probably. Feel that lovely stretch all the way through the side body there. So really stretching into those oblique muscles and all the way up to the armpit and maybe even just around to the top of that right arm too. Press into both hands to come up and just walk your hands over to off the right side of your mat there. Reach the left arm away, bend the right elbow now, place your forehead on your right hand or forearm. Now creep those left fingertips forward a little bit as you reach the left hip back, just until you feel a lovely stretch through the intercostal muscles of the ribs there. So really feel for the stretch all the way from that left hip bone, all the way to the left fingertips, and feeling it more intensely through the side body there, the ribs and the underarm. Press into your hands to come up. Okay, we're going to do a little flow, just a small one with 2 breaths. I'm going to give you 2 options with it, just in case the balancing isn't with you today. So you can come through it with me and continue to breathe. I'll just cue the breath, but obviously, like usual, I'll be cueing extra points too. So on your inhale, you'll be pivoting your right foot off the mat, reaching your left leg away and lifting it up and reaching the left arm up. So that will be your inhale. On your exhale, the leg comes down and you reach your right or your left arm underneath your right arm. So the right arm, I'll show it from this direction, the right arm bends out to the side is kind of the best position for it, and then press into it to come up. Okay, so if that's a little bit tricky for you to find the balance there, you just pivot your foot out to the side and keep the leg on the ground and reach that right arm up. If bending down into this kind of half chaturanga is too much in the shoulder, keep the arms straight and just reach underneath. You're still coming into a twist. Okay, so we're talking about inhale, exhale, or inhale, exhale. Okay, let's do 3 rounds of that. So coming to tabletop position there. Inhale, pivot the right foot off the side, reach the left leg away, reach the left arm up. Exhale, leg down, reach left arm underneath right arm bent now to the side. Inhale, pivot foot, reach, stretch. Exhale, curling under, coming into a twist. One more time. Inhale, pivot the foot, reach, stretch through all your extremities. Exhale, leg down, find stability, reach underneath. Press into that right arm to come up to tabletop position. And we'll just do that same movement on the left side now. It can actually feel good to have that, say your left hand now at a kind of 45-degree angle and maybe even a little bit forward so that you have a little bit more room to reach under there. Okay, pivot left leg, reach right arm up, right leg away, reach. Exhale, right leg down, twist. Inhale, pivot, reach. Exhale, twisting. One more time. Inhale, reach. Exhale, twisting. Okay, lovely. Okay, coming around to the back of your mat now. Tuck the toes. Actually, no, don't tuck the toes under. We'll just step forward. So step the right leg forward, press right hand into right knee, lift the left knee up, and then just step the left leg forward. Inhale, reach the arms up high.
Exhale, hands down the midline in prayer position. Okay, now really quickly, I don't usually do this in a short class, but I just want to illustrate to you these 3 different movements of the spine here. So just have a look up quickly. In our twists, we want our pelvis to be stable. So there's our pelvis. There's me coming into a twist, and you can see that the pelvis has stayed squared to the front of the mat. In our twist, our waist is not doing quite as much as we think it's doing, but that's fine. That's just, you know, the way it's supposed to work. Our spine twists more in the upper part. So upper part, brick to the front, and you can see how much more further the thoracic. So that's just an idea of where you're looking for your twist to come from. So if you feel you're over twisting through the waist area, it might mean that you're letting that left hip come forward a little bit. So I'll take my t-shirt off so you can see a little bit better. My AirPods coming off. Okay, so from the side, squared, waist, upper body. Squared hips, waist a little bit, upper body even more, okay? So standing at the top of your mat, inhale, reach your arms up high. Then exhale, twisting to your right-hand side. Place your left hand on your belly, your right hand on your lower back. So that's going to help you square your hips and reach the chest to the right. Inhale to reach. Exhale, twisting to the left. Stabilize the hips with the hands. Reach. Inhale, stretch it up. Exhale, last time to the right. Square the hips. Feel the twist coming from the base of the spine all the way to the tip of the crown. Inhale, reach, and exhale, twisting. Last time, reach that left shoulder back and down a little bit. So make sure it's all coming up to the ear. Inhale, reach, and then exhale, hands down the midline in prayer position, folding all the way down. Inhale, come up halfway, hands to knees, reach the chest forward, a little back bend. Exhale, step that left leg back. Inhale, reach the arms up high. Okay, so again, I'm going to talk you through the flow and then we're going to flow with the breath. Okay, so just make sure that you're not letting that any tension in that front hip pull your hips forward, push it back almost rather than forward. Now, both are perfectly good versions of a low lunge, but the way I am practicing it is it's the idea of pulling those hip bones back to find this movement rather than coming forward and losing the stretch through the front of the hips there. Inhale, reach the arms up high. And then exhale, twisting to the right, hands in prayer position. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, twisting to the right. Place your left hand onto the outside of your right knee and reach the left or the right arm back. So just notice here. So this is an aided twist. Once you have something to crane yourself down against, it's a little bit easier to take it into a stronger stretch. Unaided one, probably using a lot more muscle activity because there's nothing to help you. This one, there's probably a bit more stretch, and it's lovely to stretch through the sides as well. Okay, and then inhale, reach the arms back up again. Exhale, step that left leg forward and fold down. Inhale, reach the arms up high. Exhale, hands down the midline in prayer position. Okay, we're going to do that again on the left side now. Inhale, reach the arms up high. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, reach. Exhale, twist to right. Inhale, reach. Exhale, folding all the way down. Inhale, coming up halfway. Exhale, step right leg back now, right knee down. Untuck the toes. Inhale, reach the arms up high. Remember, pressing hips back. Hip bones lifted there. Squeeze it to the back. These are the muscles that help to open that hip out. So make sure you're squeezing it to the back of the hips there now. One more inhale here. Exhale, hands in prayer position, twisting to your left. And just noticing where you go. Pausing here. Feeling for the twist there. See, can you, even though it's quite a complicated twist in terms of muscles switching on, can you notice what's stretching and what's strengthening? So could you possibly feel that this side of the body is strengthening while this side of the body is stretching as you move away from it. Inhale, reaching. Exhale, coming into the aided twist. So using your leg as your help, reach that left arm to the back of your mat there. Definitely feeling more of a stretch, I would suggest, I'd say, through that right side of the body there. And possibly not quite as much strengthening to the left side of the body. Notice actually what happens if you gently let go of your aid there. Does it stay there or does it spin back? Inhale, reach the arms up high. Exhale, hands down either side of your front foot, step your right leg forward, fold it down. Inhale, reach the arms up high. Exhale, hands down the midline in prayer position. Okay, we'll move through our next flow, I think, because we've got 3 flows here. I think if I run through that one again, we may not get to our last one. Okay, inhale, reach the arms up high. Exhale, hands down the midline in prayer position. Inhale, coming up halfway. And exhale, just bringing both legs back. Find your way into tabletop position here. Okay, we're going to kind of combine what we have done so far, that little small flow at the start, and then that flow that we've just done there with the twists. But this version, we're going to be standing. So much more activity going on because we're balancing, and balancing postures are very strengthening for the core because we're really trying to find our spacing in our balance in space, or proprioception. Okay, so we're going to start with an inhale, pivot that right foot off to the side, lift that left arm up, right leg reaches, remembering that this might be your version. And then exhale, bringing it down, twist to the right. Inhale, back to all fours. Exhale, step that right leg forward. Inhale, lift left knee, come up to high lunge now. Just take a moment here to kind of have a look at your posture. Make sure you're keeping that nice lifted hips there. As front knee bends, little bend in the back knee is fine if that feels better for the stretch in the front of the hips there. As it starts to warm up, you might find you can stretch that heel away from you, but not in the expense of the pelvis tipping forward. Inhale, reach the arms up high. And then exhale, we're going to twist to the right-hand side. Inhale, reach. Exhale, twist to the left. So we're coming into an open and a closed twist here. So this is an open twist. Inhale, reach. And exhale, twist to the right. This is a closed twist. Inhale, reach. Exhale, twist left, open. So open, open. We might, if you ever did pregnancy yoga, it's always open twists rather than closed twists. Inhale, reach. Exhale, right. One more time. Inhale, reach. And exhale, left. Inhale, reach. And exhale, we're going to do this movement. I think we did it in our first class. We're going to do to the breath. We're going to reach forward and really use this whole transverse abdominis to contain the organs of the body, to contain or to protect the spine. So we're going to do the 4-6 breath. Inhale, reach the arms up high for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So really pushing all the air out of your belly there. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last round. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now come up if this is bothering you back. Otherwise, stay here for 3, 2, 1. Inhale to come up. Exhale, hands either side the front foot and step it back to downward dog. If you're going to stay at the front of your mat, I'm just going to flip around so that you can see me. And we're going to move on to the other side. Okay, so starting with our pivot and twist. So pivot the left leg out to the side, reach right leg away, reach right arm up. Exhale, coming into our twist, reaching that right arm under, coming onto the right shoulder. Inhale, back up to all fours. And exhale, step that left foot just to the inside of your left hand there now. It's always important to make sure that your feet are nice and wide on your mat, left to right of your mat here when we're coming up, particularly into a standing lunge. Tuck the right toes under. Inhale, lift that right leg up, bring the hand onto that left knee if you need to, reach the arms up high. We're going to come into our twists with our arms, a little bit of movement into the shoulders and looking for the open and closed twist here. So inhale here, exhale, twist to, we'll start with the left, twist to the left, closed twist. Inhale, reach, exhale, twist to right, right arm reaches back, left arm reaches forward. Inhale, lift, exhale, left, inhale, reach, exhale, right. Inhale, reach, last round, exhale, left, reaching to the front and the back of your mat. Arms nice and straight. Inhale, reach, and exhale, back, last one. Okay, inhale, reach the arms up high now. Now adjust your feet if you need to. If you're finding your balance is tricky, make sure you're wide on your mat. We're nearly there. Last bit of movement. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All the breath out, cinch the waist in. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now come up if this is bothering your back, or stay here for 3, 2, 1. Inhale to come up. Exhale, hands either side the front foot and step it back to all fours. Okay. Now bring it into our next flow now. So we are going to do a little bit of side bending now. Have a brick nearby if you have one. It's not a problem if you don't. Okay. So we're going to inhale here, exhale, step the right leg just to the inside of the right foot there now. Inhale, tuck the left toes under, come up to high lunge here. So we're going to come into, we did a little bit of twisting at the start when we were on all fours with our hands in prayer position. We're going to do the same thing. It's kind of like Parvita, or Parvita Ashtachandasana, so it's like twisted lunge, but we're not going to touch the knee, we're just going to hover so that all the muscles of the spine are working to keep us upright. We're going to do it with our breath. So inhale, reach the arms up high. Exhale, hands in prayer position, just pivoting or twisting to your right and even just touching the top of the right thigh there. Inhale, reach. Exhale, hands into prayer, twisting to the right, touch the knee. Inhale, reach. I felt my spine rounding there. It's making sure you keep your spine nice and long. If your arm isn't comfortably coming to the knee, then just hover. Exhale, exhale all the way down. Inhale, reach. Now for the next one, we are going to come into arrowhead, this version, and just hold the breath. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, coming into arrowhead. Exhaling, pausing. So taking one breath here. One big inhale and an exhale. We'll do that again. Inhale, reaching and exhaling. Pause. One more inhale and exhale. Inhale, reach and exhale into arrowhead. Pause here. One more breath. Inhaling and exhale. Inhale, reach the arms up high, and then exhale, pivot your feet around to the side of your mat to find your warrior. So here is where you need your brick. You're going to pop your brick in between your hands when you get ready for this kind of movement. We're going to be doing this, straighten the front leg, bend the front knee, and coming into kind of almost like a version between Parsvakonasana and Warrior 2. Okay, so inhale, reach the arms up high. So really press your palms against the brick there, just for a little bit of stability so you feel it's not going to fall out of your hands, but also really working the arms there. So inhale, reach. Exhale, bend that right knee, start to hinge over to your right hand side. Keep both arms nice and straight here. Pause. Inhale, straighten both legs. Exhale, really slowly bend that front knee, start to hinge over to your right side. Pause at the bottom. Inhale, reach. Feel that both muscles now, obliques and transverse abdominals. Exhale, hinging over to your right side. Pausing at the bottom. Definitely strong work. Inhale, reach. Okay, pop your brick down. And then just hands either side the front foot and step it back to all fours. Okay, I'm going to come down to the back of the mat too. You can stay where you are. And we'll take that onto the left-hand side now. So inhale here. Exhale, step the left leg forward. And then inhale, tuck right toes under. Place left hand on left knee if you need it. And reach the arms up. So just check your feet again. Always remembering to make sure they're nice and wide, because you know now that you're going to be in this standing pose for a little bit of time. So I want to make sure you've got your balance with you. So we're going to do our elbow taps now to that left knee. Inhale, reach. Exhale, prayer position. Tap. Right elbow, left knee. Inhale, reach. Exhale, hinging forward. Tap. Inhale, reach. Exhale, hinging, twisting, and tapping. Inhale, reach. And we're coming into our arrowhead. So exhale, arms behind you now. So lift the arms up. Feel strength through the back there. Breathing or exhaling all the way. And then one more breath. Inhaling and exhale. Inhale, reach. Exhaling, second round. Reach the arms up and back. Feel the chest opening there. One breath. Inhale. Exhale. See, can you pour a little bit of weight into that right foot now? Inhale, reach. Legs are probably really feeling it now. And then exhale, arms back. Lift the arms up. Press through that right heel. One breath here, inhaling. And exhale. Inhale, reach. Arms either side of your front foot. And then, oh, no, sorry, stay where you are, stay where you are. We forgot to do our pièce de résistance move. Okay, so we're going to come up into your warrior. Grab your brick, have it between your hands. Inhale, reach the arms up high, straighten that left leg now. Exhale, bend the left leg, start to hinge any amount. So remember, it's about what feels good for you. You need a little bit of effort, but not strain is what we're looking for. Inhale, reach, straighten that front leg. Exhale, hinging to the left, any amount. You might even just be here. Any amount where you just start to feel sensation. Inhale, straighten. Last time, exhale, hinging to your left there. Breathing. Inhale, lengthen. Now exhale, hands either side of your front foot and stepping it back to downward dog. Okay, seeing as that is our last flow, we're going to just go through it. We're not quite ready to come into our restorative. We're going to flow through that one with the breath because we haven't done any of our previous flows. It's always nice to have at least one flow where you're literally moving in and out of the poses and moving with your breath. So for this one, we're not going to bother with the brick. We're just going to reach the arms up high. Okay, one on each side we'll do. Okay, inhale here. Exhale, step the right leg forward. Inhale, tuck left toes under, reach the arms up. Exhale, elbow touches right knee, arms in prayer position. Inhale, reach. Exhale, arrowhead. Inhale, reach. Exhale into your warrior. Inhale, reach, straightening the front leg. Exhale, hinging over the front leg, bending that front knee. Inhale to reach. Exhale, hands either side of the front foot and step it back to all fours. One more inhale here. Exhale, step left foot forward just to the inside of your left hand. Inhale, tuck right toes under, lift right knee, reach the arms up high. Inhale here. Exhale, hinge. Right elbow, left knee. Inhale, reach. Exhale, arrowhead, arms reach. Lift the arms up now. Breathe. Cinch the waist in. 360. Inhale, reach. Exhale, coming into our warrior. Inhale, straighten the legs. And exhale, hinging over that front leg, reach the arms. Inhale, reach. And exhale, hands either side of the front foot, coming back to all fours. I think we'll go again with one more. That didn't take as long as I thought. I hope I remembered to do that movement on the other side. Well, we'll catch it now if we didn't. Inhale here. Exhale, right foot to the inside of the right leg there. Inhale, coming to your high lunge. Exhale, prayer position, twist to the right, left elbow, right knee. Inhale, reaching. Exhale, arrowhead. All the breath out, cinch the waist in. Inhale, reaching. Exhale to the warrior. Inhale, straighten both legs. Exhale, hinging to the right, bend that front knee. Cinch the waist in. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, hands either side of the front foot and step it back to all fours. Inhale here, second side. Exhale, left foot just to the inside of the left hand. Inhale, tuck right toes under, lift, reach. Exhale, right elbow, left knee. Inhale, reaching. Exhale, arrowhead, cinch the waist in. Inhale, reaching. Exhale, pivot, open the hips out to the side there. Inhale, straighten the front leg. Exhale, bend the front leg, hinging over the side, holding your imaginary brick, arms nice and strong here. Inhale, straightening. Exhale, hands either side the front foot, step it back to all fours, and then just take a breath in child's pose. So press your hips back. You can take a full child's pose with your head down on the ground. Or what I quite like to take when I've gone through a flow like that and I've been breathing is more upright child's pose so that I can actually breathe and cool down a little bit. So fingertips spread nice and wide, arms really strong, and just opening the chest and breathing. I'm getting ready now to come to the second half of your practice. The timing is perfect. We're getting ready to relax now. So we've done loads of twisting. We're going to do a 3-phase back bend where we go into the upper back, the lower back, and then open the hips. And then we're going to do a lovely restorative prone twist on a bolster. Okay, so pop your layers on if you need to. Socks, restorative is definitely a socks on practice. Add some extra layers. I'm going to find my t-shirt that I threw. And then just coming onto your back when you're ready. Knees bent, feet mat distance apart. And the knees tucked are knocked in together. So you're getting used to this one now, constructive rest. So this is the kind of the most energy efficient way of just starting to let the muscles that were working really hard for you start to just come around to the idea of releasing, getting them used to the idea that they've finished their job now and you're going to give a little bit back to them in return for all they have given you. So feel for your points of contact with the ground there, soles of your feet, back of your pelvis, back of your shoulder blades, and the back of your skull. Forearms, maybe the tops of your fingers. Feel your breath starting to gentle now. Feel the ground underneath you, really accepting with kindness the weight of your body as it supports you. And we'll come straight into our first pose now. So just rolling over gently to your right hand side, always using your left arm to help lift you up and grab one of your blankets. Okay, always good to start from a 4-fold with your blanket. So basically it's your blanket folded in 4. And smooth it out. Make sure that anything you land on when you're coming to your restorative poses is not going to have a crease in it. Start to roll your blanket up now. So what we're doing is at a 4-fold and turning it into quite a tight roll. So rolling it all the way up until we end up with a long roll. So the roll is going to sit in 3 different positions. So we're going to move it 3 times as we move through this 3-phased back bend. It's going to sit for the first section just up at your shoulder blades, at the tip of your shoulder blades there. And then it's going to come to your lower back. It's going to support your lower lumbar curve there. And then it's going to come to, that's your hip crease there at the front of your body. So we are trying to open that up. So we place the blanket here. So it's kind of at the fleshiest part of your glutes there is kind of completely the opposite side of where that hip crease is. So think that's what we're opening. So that's where we press to open it. Okay, so starting with the roll underneath the shoulder blades. So it's important to note that everybody's spine is very different. So a fold that might feel lovely for one person will feel too much for another person. So this is your own practice. You come out of the pose and you just take one of the rolls out of your blanket there to bring it down a little bit if it feels a little bit too intense for you. We never want to feel it too intense, and where we might feel it intensely is the lower back if we're coming into something that's too strong for our spine. So just listening in for the guide of your body to know when you need to adjust your props. So coming onto your back and just making sure that you're happy with the position of your blanket, just at the tip of your shoulder blades there. And remembering we did one of these kind of ones before, what you're looking for is that when you reach your arm out, there's about kind of 2 fingers between your armpit and the roll. And that's how you know that you're kind of on the tip of your shoulder blades there. So the legs are straight for this one. If that's just instantly too much on your lower spine, feel free to bring your legs into constructive rest there with the knees bent and the feet mat distance apart and knees knocked in together. Otherwise, have the legs straight out. So you'll probably know pretty instantly whether your roll is just too much for you. This is just about right for me. It depends on the density of your blanket and also the size of your blanket too. Not every blanket is the same size. Arms can be nice in cactus position. If cactus position is just not comfortable on your shoulders, or if the arms are not comfortably on the ground. So remember, in restorative, we want everything to be supported. We don't want anything to be hovering in space. So if the arms don't comfortably come to the ground in cactus position, just place the hands either side of the body there. Palms facing up might be nice. And just even using the blanket to help open the chest even more with the arms out to the side. So whatever feels good for you. See, can you notice the breath in the upper chest there as it kind of is magnified by the opening chest with the back row? Feel that lovely stretch in the skin of your abdominals. So these muscles, this area that we've been working through and twisting, now stretching nicely. Scanning down through your body, making sure that everything is happy. Seeing, particularly for your first few poses, checking in with those habitual bits of tension that you hold in your body. I definitely have left shoulder tension, so when I come into a pose, I have to have a little conversation with my left shoulder to make sure it's not hovering. And making sure as well, Even though we're not particularly working with the legs, they are very relaxed. They are really accepting the support of the ground underneath them. The toes might be just rolled out to the side. They're completely submitting to the forces of gravity. Settling into your practice now, always coming back to the breath when the mind starts to chatter. And now just gently getting ready to move into the second phase of this back bend. So just bring your arms down either side of you and just press into them to gently lift your spine up. With just little effort as possible. Roll down to your lower back there now. And just coming back down. So what you want to feel here is a little bit of a lift in the lumbar, but not too much, not an intense lift through the lumbar. And also definitely a little bit of lift. So if it feels that it's only just filling the space in your lower back, then maybe increase or change the position to a little bit lower down. Now really look for the breath in your belly here. And actually for this one, it can actually be quite nice to bring your hands onto your belly. So really finding the breath in your belly, which is where we find our deeper and more replenishing, restorative breath. Belly breathing. So in your inhale, feel the belly swell. And if your hands are on your belly, the hands will slightly move away from each other. And on your exhale, the fingertips draw towards each other as the belly moves towards the spine. And noticing even in this lovely relaxed phase of our practice, there's still plenty of movement and noises and heartbeats and pulses going on in a resting body. Check back in with the legs now, make sure that they're still resting. Check back in with any of your little habitual points of tension. Check in with the muscles on your face, the skin across your forehead. See, is there anything there? See, is there any little bits of tension in your forehead and your temples, where you're just concentrating that a little bit too hard? And let go of that. Let go of the needing to be doing it right and the searching for perfection. Just let the face relax. Okay, we're going to gently move on to the third phase of the back bend. So bend the knees up and just plant the feet on the ground there. So this one, the shoulders and the head can stay on the ground. So what you're going to do is just simply press your feet into the ground, lift the hips up, find that fleshy lower part of your hips there again. Remember where I demoed before that it's the exact opposite of your hip flex there, your hip joint there is at the kind of fleshy part of your glutes. So lengthening the legs out again. And just noticing here, has this gone into your back? So if you're feeling it intensely in your back, see, can you almost drape your hip bones back towards you a little bit? So maybe even have a sense of drawing your hip bones down and the bottom of your pelvis up a little bit if it's gone too much into the lower back. Feet draped out to the side again. Hands can be either on the hip bones or either side of the body. Sometimes it's nice to bring your hands to the area that you're bringing the awareness to. Scanning down again. Settling into the silence a little bit more now. Getting ready now to move again. Just kind of working out what the most energy efficient way to move is. So bending the knees, placing your feet on the ground, just lifting your hips up a small amount, just the amount that you can slide your blanket aside, and really gently letting your hips come back to the ground. Keep the knees bent there, bring your feet to the mat distance apart, let the knees knock in together and come to constructive rest. And just feeling for the natural curves of the back now without any blanket rolls underneath to lift our back bend. Now rolling over to your right hand side, we'll get ready for our final pose before Shavasana. It's one I want to keep us in for a little bit of time. So we're going to come into a prone twist now. You're going to pop your bolster. I'm going to come from this direction. At the top of your mat there, you're going to use 2, 3 blankets possibly. Third one is kind of optional. It's nice to kind of have one draped over you. Definitely the other 2 are good to have. So you're going to actually unfold one and put it out on the blanket or on the, keep it in a 4-fold actually. So keep it in a 4-fold there and put it on your mat. And even have just the small bit of your bolster underneath it. So that's just a little bit more padding for your hips. Come over to your right hip there now, just so that you can see what I'm doing there. So bring your hip up to the side of your bolster, not quite butting up against it because we want a little bit of room to drape the waist over. Position for the knees, there's loads of options. This one's quite nice. So the front or the bottom leg, which is my right leg, is bent. And then I'm hooking my big toe onto the calf of the left leg there. So it just gives the legs something to wrap around so they stay in space. So we'll take that one probably, or you can take it into a slightly wider one where the leg comes onto the front there. Or there's also a version where this one is bent and that one is straight. It takes a little bit out of the twist. So we're going to come into this one. Okay. And then we're going to use this blanket as our pillow here. And your other blanket, we're going to have beside you just to drape it over you. So you could probably get it ready to drape over you now. Okay, we're going to lengthen through the spine first with a hand either side of your bolster there. So it's really important to find length through the spine so that we take this twist. So inhale to find length, and then exhale, drape your spine vertebrae by vertebrae over your bolster, just gently creeping your fingers forward to the top of your mat there. You're going to gaze to your left side. So ideally what you're looking for is for the bolster to come up exactly on your spine there. And if that's tricky or you've got a little bit too much in the front of you there, you can lift. You can put a blanket underneath the lower part of your belly just to give you a little bit of lift so that there's a little bit more space for the breast tissue. Okay, so coming into your twist. Starting to feel everything melting a little bit now. Feel the difference between this twist and our active twists. So this is a very replenishing twist. It's quite incredibly nourishing for the organs of the body. Check in with your hips there, make sure they're nicely grounded on the mat. Can you feel your breath now in your back body? As you breathe, feel your shoulder blades lifting. And as we lie in our front, we feel the breath in our back body. Taking one more deep replenishing breath here. And just getting ready to move to the other side. Just working out what the best way to do it is for you. So what I would suggest is press your hands down inside your bolster to lift yourself up nice and slowly now. The best way to do it really is just to swing your legs to the opposite direction and bring your left hip to the edge of the bolster there. Remembering to leave a little bit of space so that you have room for the spine to lengthen. Hands either side of the bolster there. Check that you're happy with the position of your legs. So you've got your left knee bent and your right, you can see there now, my left big toe is tucking onto the right calf there. Get your blanket over you and ready. So lengthen on an inhale. Take a long inhale here to lengthen through the whole spine. Open the chest. Exhale, place yourself down slowly over your bolster, vertebra by vertebra. Adjusting if you find you hit any roadblocks there. If it's not comfortable for the breast tissue, you bring that blanket down further, which will lift your lower belly up to give you a little bit more space. Or just coming down and using your blanket for your pillow. Your gaze now is to your right side. So the gaze is always to the side that your legs are. Feel that lovely stretching twist now in the right side of the body. Stimulating the abdominal organs, digestion, reproductive organs, all the organs of the body. Also stimulating circulation through the whole body when we come out of the twist. Scanning through the body again, making sure that everything is happy. You have a blanket on you now, just feel for the lovely, secure, comforting weight of the blanket on your hips, cocooning you, protecting you. Taking one more breath here. Just getting enough energy to move you to your next pose, but no more. Place your hands either side of your bolster. Gently lift yourself up. So we're going to come into Shavasana now. So maybe just pop your blankets out to the side. What you could do is actually come with your back onto the blanket that we have underneath our hips there. So just pivot yourself around. And then we might as well use the bolster for the legs. So just turn the bolster around the other direction, pop them underneath your knees. And then you can make a pillow or a neck roll by rolling up your other blanket, popping it at the top of your mat there. And then your final blanket, if you have one, is nice over the belly. So using your arms to gently bring you down, tuck your neck roll right in the back of your cervical spine there. Really wedge it underneath that occipital curve, that lovely curve at the back of your skull there. Placing a blanket over your belly is always lovely. Kind of tells your little receptors in your skin that you are safe, you are secure, you are happy. Palms facing up or down, whatever feels good for you. Just taking a few more minutes here to absorb your efforts, to absorb your practice, and slowly, really gently transition from non-doing back to doing. I'm going to close the class off quietly and gently again today. So staying in Shavasana, if you want to take an extra little bit of time to transition into your day, or if you're ready to come out, just gently rolling over to your right hand side, using your left arm to support you up. And coming up to a cross-legged seated position. Hands in prayer position to your heart. Taking one more breath here. Deep inhale and an even longer restorative exhale. Thumbs to your third eye, to your lips, to your heart center, and namaste. So thank you for practicing with me. You will get the recording link for this later on today with the link to the next block of classes. So thank you so much for practicing with me. I hope you continue to practice. I've loved all the feedback. I love to hear what particular poses you like as well. Just good to know how things are sitting with people. And I'll see you again next week. Thank you.